What's up, everybody? Welcome back to KidsDraw4Fun. Today, someone gave me a great idea. They asked if I could make a video on how to draw Baby Yoda. Let's do it. Grab your pencils, grab your crayons. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to be using my iPad. I use this program called Procreate, in which I could draw things on it. It has a lot of great tools for me to use as an artist. So I'm going to open it up and we'll get going. You're probably going to want to hold your paper vertical ways and pick out a good spot on your page. We don't want to make it too small. Remember, artists, when we are drawing, we want to make sure that we draw nice and light with our pencils so that if we need to, we can erase without any problems, okay? The other thing is, this is just supposed to be fun. Not everybody's is gonna look the same. Mine might look different than yours, but guess what? It's all about having fun and learning to draw and being creative, okay? So let's get started here. We are going to start out with like a long stretched out rainbow shape. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And then from there, we're going to work on the tops of the ears. So a long line out the side of that rainbow, and then do it again on the other side. And then from those points, we're gonna do like a little slide, like whoop. There we go. And then connect those at the bottom. It's like a little bit of a round line, not perfectly straight across. I'm going to pause here just to remind you that if you need to pause the video to catch up, please feel free to do so. Now we're going to work on the inside of his ears, so watch me do these. We're starting at the bottom and then curving up and out. Now let's work on the eyes, which isn't quite a circle, but it's not quite an oval either. It almost has a little point on both sides. And now we're going to draw a little circle up on the top of the eyes. And we'll try to keep it the same on both eyes. We'll keep that circle white and then fill in the rest black. So go ahead and do that on the left eye, and then let's move to the right eye when you're finished that. Now we can kind of start to see Grogu's face. I just learned Baby Yoda, his name is Grogu. Okay, so now we're going to work on the eyebrows. And to do the eyebrows, it's just a small arc above the eyes, but we want to make sure that we don't arc it too much or make it too much of a rainbow shape, because then he might look angry. We want them to stay up top. And then let's do these 4 lines in his head. Yeah, we don't want to make him look angry. He's a happy baby. For the nose, it's just a tiny round line, like a little rainbow. And then it's like a stretched out little V for the mouth. Now we're going to work on the collar of his robe, which is really just like a couple of rectangles that overlap each other. Now on the left side of the collar, we're going to draw a diagonal line down and then zigzag it the other way. This will be the sleeve. And then we'll draw a line connecting that. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. And then let's complete it by bringing a line down. You can make it a little curvy to make it look like it's a little wrinkled or not quite straight. And then we'll finish the robe by bringing a line down the middle and a couple collars on his sleeves by just some simple wavy lines. And for the fingers, 1, 2, 3. They're not as long as human fingers. 1, 2, 3. We'll do something similar for Grogu's toes. It'll be a little wavy line, and then a couple lines right above where the toes are. And the same thing on the right side. Just little marks, they don't have to be exact. Now before we start coloring, one thing, I want you to keep right under the ear lines white. You're gonna see me fill it in green, but you need to keep yours white so you could come back with a lighter pink color. Now my favorite part, let's do some coloring. I picked a light green, and this is a cool thing about Procreate. I could just drag the color over and drop it in and it fills in the shape. So I'll do that with the head, both hands. I might have to individually do it for each toe, we'll see. I might just have to color it. Yeah, let me zoom in here. Use my pencil just to color in those little open spaces for the toes. And then, all right, good. So we got our light green. And then for the robe, I'm gonna pick like a light tan. I think I'm going to fill the collar with this light colored tan. So you could use a very light brown if you have it, or if you have a tan color, that's great. And then for the actual robe, I'm going to make it a little bit darker. So if you don't have this color, a brown would be fine. And here's what I was saying about that light color for the ears. I want to color in right under that line this kind of pinkish reddish color for his ears. And I know if you filled in it with green, it would be hard to color over that with crayons or markers. So that's why I gave you the heads up to keep that part white. It's easy for me to do that on my iPad, but it would be hard for you to do that. Okay, so there's Baby Yoda, that's Grogu. If you would like, you could be finished right now. If you want, you can add a background. I'm actually going to add some light or like a reflection on the left side of him. And it might be hard for you to add some reflection because you might have already started coloring and you can't color over a dark color with a lighter color. But if you haven't, you could give it a shot, or you could just try it next time you do it. So I'm just taking a lighter color and putting a simple line down the left side of his robe, and then I'll do the opposite and I'll actually add some shade. So I'll just take this tan and make it a little bit darker, like a darker shade of that same color. If you used a brown, you could use a black crayon just to add some shade on one side and color it very lightly over the tan. But you'll see, by adding these lines, it gives the effect of light on one side of him and dark on the other side of him. And it kind of makes it look more realistic or three-dimensional. Okay, so we did it with his robe, now let's do it with his skin. You see I took a very light green, almost like I mixed his skin color green with some white and made it lighter. And I will go down the left side of his skin, a little bit on his hands, a little bit up top, because you got to figure that the light source is coming from above and maybe a little bit on one side or the other. But you'll notice it's not just on the left side, it's on the right side a little bit as well. And then I'll take that dark green and add a little bit of shade. Think about where light usually comes from. It comes from above, right? So it'll be lighter up top and then it will be darker below, or on the opposite side of the light. Okay, and this last part is optional, but I always like to outline it with a black marker or a black crayon because I think it makes it look nice and clean. And after it's outlined, I'm going to add a cool space background. So I'm going to fast forward it, and if you like, you can always do this as well. But here we go. Enjoy. All right, and there you have it. Voila. There's our picture of Baby Yoda. I really enjoyed doing this one. I actually just got done painting some Vans for a little boy to wear of Baby Yoda. Check him out. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. And if you did this drawing, I would love to see it. So make sure you tag me on Instagram at KidsDraw4Fun. Until next time, everybody, keep drawing. Big shout out to my buddy Aiden from the Upper Township Elementary School. This one's for you, bud. Hope you enjoyed.